Let's bring it back to modeling. What sort of inspired you to return? I mean, obviously you
Oh,
are
right.
a stunning human being and this just kind of makes sense, but something must have sort of how'd you get the bug again, I guess?
Thank you. I actually it's been going on for like a few years, I'd say. Ever since I started my brand, like 2 years into launching my brand, I really loved the whole campaign aspect of it. I loved doing photo shoots for my brand. I loved the fashion show that I did in 2019 for Park City Fashion Week.
Yes.
And I knew that I wanted to get into it because it just doesn't feel like work. Like when I have a clothing brand, it feels like work. I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing 24/7, like with product development, making sure everything's hitting the right timelines and like the fabric choices, everything. But being able to just like go in front of the camera, see what someone else's creative vision is, and like having someone else essentially make you their ideal brand representative is so cool to see. And I love that aspect of modeling. Like it doesn't feel like work to me at all. It's just so fun and I love it.
And I feel it's probably like because now, like you living in New York, there's so many people that I'm sure you see around the streets that like think they're models. You know what I mean? And they're like
Mhm.
think they're having a moment. But I love that you can be like, no, I actually do model. And do you feel like the modeling industry? Because I mean, you've kind of like you were auditioning as a kid, doing Broadway thing. Do you feel like it's changed in a better or worse way in any way from recent times?
I think it's definitely changed in a better way. I know that I almost got back into it when I was like, so I modeled from ages like 7 to 12. Then I got braces, was going through an awkward stage, whatever. Um, and like now I know that models literally get hired because they have braces. You know what I mean? Like it's not as cutthroat, I guess, in terms of like
Mhm.
the image that they want. But then I tried to start modeling again when I was 16, but I looked so young. Like I probably would have been on the boys division instead of the men's board.
Mm.
So then um I don't know, I've had agencies like say things to me that I thought was like a little out of line and things like that. And that's why I'm so glad to sign with Board is because I feel so comfortable with
Like
them.
what, like about appearance or about vibe or
Yeah, appearance. I mean, I've had an agency say that I needed to get my hairline fixed. I've had an agency say that I needed to go to the gym more. Like I've had one time I like went to an audition or not an audition. I went to a meeting with an agency and they were like, "You look so hungover. Did you have like a wild night?" And I was like, "No, like I was up till like 12 working and then got here at 10." Like,
Oh my God.
and
And that's the thing. I
it
feel
still happens.
like you can never win because you're too skinny, you're too muscular, you're too this, you're too that. Like I feel like it is so tough to exist in this space. And I'm glad that you have, Ford to back you up to say,
Right,
we're proud of Brooks Marks for whoever he is, however
yeah.
he is. I mean,
right.
how did that impact your self-esteem when you would hear comments like that? Like, how did you deal with that? Because, outwardly you seem like a very confident guy.
Thank you. Um, I definitely have my moments. I think everyone does, no, regardless of how confident they seem. But um, I just think over the past few years, it's been really crazy with everything going on. With my mom being pushed further into the public sphere in such a drastic way that if you let criticism from other people affect you, like you just will not have healthy, you won't be in a healthy mental state. You get to a point where like you just don't care anymore. The first like year or two, it really affected me hearing criticism or what people had to say about me, whatever. But after that, I just didn't care. You know, I was like, it gets exhausting to have to pay attention to every little thing. So like hearing comments like that from an agency, just like, okay, on to the next. Like if I don't want to be signed with someone who doesn't see the value I bring,